NFL season just only a couple of days away. It's time to talk some Dallas Cowboys football. And to do that, we're joined by Mickey Spagnola. Mickey, it's already here. Cowboys looking to get out to a great start. Dak is back. And speaking of Dak, how's that going to go now that he didn't even get any preseason reps? How do you think that's going to go when he comes out there and gets his first start after missing with the leg injury?
Well, you hate him coming off the ankle surgery and not having any preseason snaps. Now, he was healthy last year this time, right? He didn't have any preseason snaps since there wasn't any preseason. I think they've practiced him pretty hard and had a lot of throwing sessions. So other than having taken a hit, it sure looked like he's been in rhythm. He's thrown the ball well, accurately, with velocity. He can throw any pass they ask him to throw. So from that aspect, I think he's in good shape. You know, maybe it takes him a little time in that first quarter to get used to all the confusion that a quarterback has to face in front of him, but he's facing it in practice. So I just think he's ready to go, and I don't think they have any qualms about running an offense any way they wish to try to attack Tampa Bay.
I know there's some concern about his shoulder. How's that going? There were people speculating, thinking like, oh, it's worse than what they're saying and all these different things like that. How does he look as far as his shoulder goes?
Yeah, I want to know who those people are. I want names, right?
Yeah.
Because they probably aren't here watching him throw every day. I've seen him throw pass after pass after pass, and sure doesn't look like there's anything wrong with the lat muscle that he slightly strained. It was a first-degree strain. If he had to play through that in a regular season game, he would have been out there playing. They were just using abundance of caution to make sure that when they got to the start of the season, he was as close to 100% as possible, and that he would last over 17 games and not have any recurrence of the little bit of pain that he had. So from my standpoint, from what I've seen, Dak is back.
You know, that's how the hype machine works. They always build up something more than what it is. But Zach Martin, now this COVID thing is probably going to be throughout the season, different things happening. What's the possibility of him playing? I know he's got to pass he's got to have a couple of negative tests, right, before he can get back on the field.
Yeah, absolutely. There's protocols that a vaccinated player has to go through after they test positive. He's got to be asymptomatic and then be able to get 2 negative tests over between each test between 24 hours. They can take this right up to Thursday to get that second negative test if that's what it takes. Now, it sounds like it's a slim possibility, but it is a possibility. So they'll work that for all it's worth to see if they can get him back on the field. If not, Connor McGovern steps in. He's been the backup guard. Van, during the preseason, he had 132 snaps in 4 preseason games, and probably the most snaps by any Cowboys offensive lineman. 90 of them came as a starter. So he's about as prepared as a backup could be going into the season opener, even if you combine that with the 8 games he started at the end of last season. Yeah, he's not, the 4-time All-Pro that Zach Martin is, but I don't think it's as bad as it was last year when they were trying to replace Tyron Smith and La'el Collins with basically undrafted tackles that had a combined 1 start in the National Football League.
Come right out the gate, get the defending Super Bowl champions. How do you like that matchup?
You know what? When I first heard it, I said, boy, if that doesn't jack up a team, knowing that you're getting prepared to play the first game in the National Football League, a Thursday night, and you're playing the Super Bowl champs. If it was me, every night I'd go to bed, I'd be pretty excited to get that opportunity to test myself against a team like that. And I think these guys are, and I think there's a little bit of, consternation, if that's the word, that they're tired of answering questions about what do you think about getting to play Tom Brady? What do you think about getting to play Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the defending Super Bowl champs. It's almost like they're a little indignant that everybody thinks that this is this huge challenge that these guys aren't good enough to take on. I think that they'll be ready. They'll be ready mentally for the challenge.
Yeah, that's got to be motivation. And speaking of motivation, Zeke seemed extra motivated this year. Been working on his body and his weight and things like that. As we get ready for that game, how does Zeke look?
Oh, I think he looks great. Unlike last year, he's not coming off a case of COVID, right? I think everybody sells the effects of that short last year when we really didn't know the long-term effects on an athlete. You mentioned the weight. He lost 10 pounds, and he said, we'll see how that goes once I start getting hit. Hopefully I'm strong enough to take on the hits. He just looks like he's moving better. And some of that might have to do with they've got their offensive line back, right?
Yeah.
Last year he's running behind, like I said, 2 tackles that had no starting experience in the National Football League. Neither one of them were drafted. One was a rookie, one was in his second year. And then Zach Martin goes down for 6 games. That makes tough sledding up front. Plus, think about this, Van. If you were a defense and you had to play all these quarterbacks the Cowboys were playing after Dak went down, who are you worried about? The quarterbacks or Zeke? I'm taking Zeke out, and I'll take my chances with the quarterbacks.
Right. Great point, man. And on that, prediction. Give me your score and tell me why.
Oh, you know what? I don't know that I've come up with a score. I think this is going to be a tighter game than most. I've seen people predicting Cowboys getting beat 44-10. I just think this defense has improved. I think they'll be better than that. I'll say it's a close game within one score, no more than 10 points. I don't know if the Cowboys can win this one just because we haven't seen what this defense can do. But if they play the way I think they can, haven't seen it, I think they've got a chance of pulling off an upset.
Plus, they got that extra motivation. I know how I would feel if everybody was asking me if I was facing a big bad wolf. I'd be mad. so I totally understand that. Mickey Spagnola, thank you for your time. Once again, Mickey Spagnola joining us. And remember, the Cowboys and Tampa Bay Buccaneers, we get to check that out. Until next time, we'll see you later.